Hi, I'm Carolina,
And I'm Amanda.
and we are co-owners of Booty Yoga and founders of FlowLIFT in La Jolla. That's our workout. We are doing our third podcast today, and it's about yoga and dudes. So we've got three guys coming, very different, all of them. One has never done yoga. The other one does yoga every single day at our studio. And the third one is my husband, who doesn't come very often, but he has done yoga before.
He gets dragged there by his wife.
He does.
So we wanted to get some men together today because we're just wondering why more men don't do it. It's certainly not. If you look back in history, at one point it was only for men, and women weren't even allowed to practice yoga, way back in the day in India. So we're just wondering, where did it change? Why don't men, or as much men, want to do yoga or are attracted to coming to yoga classes?
So let's welcome our guests. All right, guys, here we are with Brandon, who does yoga all the time. Say hi, Brandon.
Hello.
And we've got Sam, who has never done yoga.
Hello.
Hi, Sam. Waiting for one more. He's going to pop in a little bit later. He's my husband. He's having computer issues, but he'll be here. We wanted to start up with Sam since he's never done yoga. We're going to ask you, first of all, what have you heard about yoga? What do you know about yoga? What do you envision it to be like? What have you heard?
I've definitely heard of yoga before. Know a lot of people that do it. I probably should be doing it because I am extremely unflexible and my body could probably use it. I've heard so many different variations of yoga, hot yoga and all these different types. And yeah, I've never done it before, probably because I'm so not flexible that it is painful to actually do it. But meanwhile, that's probably exactly why I should be doing it.
Yeah. And what about what kind of physical exercise do you do?
I like doing a lot of outdoor stuff. So whether it's just walking or hiking or camping or beach volleyball, or I like being active out in the world and in nature. But I've never tried yoga before. I've definitely considered it, and like I said, I should be doing it, but I just haven't.
All right. And Hany just joined us. Say hi,
Hi,
Hany.
Hany.
Hi, how are you guys?
Good.
Just getting started. We've got Sam, who's never done yoga, and Brandon, who comes to the studio every day. You want to pop in with some questions for Sam? More questions for Sam, Amanda?
Yeah, I was just wondering, do you ever think about your mobility, in your joints? Do you feel tight? Do you feel as you maybe get a little bit older, does it stress you out thinking about your ability to move? Because obviously sounds like you're fit. So
Yeah.
fitness is sort of one thing, and then I feel like mobility is another. And ideally, we're all doing both. Does it ever even occur to you? Because I feel like a lot of people, they don't really think about it.
Yes, no, it definitely occurs to me. I think about it every time I'm sitting at my desk working and my back is tight and my hips are tight. And I got in a motorcycle accident a few years ago, and that got me in bed for a long time, which I think made everything even worse. So yes, I think about it all the time. I always feel the tight muscles in my lower back and my hips, and now throughout my leg as well. So.
And then do you feel are you scared to come to yoga? Is there anything if you think what's the scariest thing about starting yoga?
There's definitely a little bit of fear just with the discomfort. If I try and bend down and touch my toes, I could get maybe to a 90-degree angle, and that's about it. But I've always been like that. I've always had very tight muscles and hamstrings, especially. I guess the only thing there's nothing that's really stopped me. I guess I just haven't made it a priority to actually do it. Which, getting older, I really should be doing it. It's only going to get worse over time. So. I've definitely considered starting. I would need to find, obviously, a class for somebody as beginner as me, which Yeah, so it's definitely something I would like to do. I just have yet to actually do it, but I really do need to.
I think we're gonna like get you in the studio after this.
Maybe, yeah. Chelsea's been trying to get me in there for a while, so we'll see
I
if you guys can do
bet.
it.
And like, what do you think yoga's all about? Like, do you feel like you kind of know what it's like when you go to a class, or does it seem like very mysterious to you?
I think I have a general idea, but I'm sure there's a lot that I don't know about, a lot of benefits to it that would only come with actually doing it and feeling the results yourself. But, when I think of yoga, I just think of stretching and loosening up your muscles and being more flexible and taking care of your body. That's usually the first place my head goes when I think about yoga.
Yeah. And breathing,
Yeah.
of course.
And breathing, yes.
Yeah. Which makes the pain less.
Right.
You've got a
Right.
good teacher.
And it's interesting. It's interesting to me that you said, like, when you think about going to yoga, the only thing you can think of is like going into a forward fold and not being able to touch the floor, right? So like comparing yourself to other people, or like, I don't know, judging that as like a sign of like being too tight for yoga. But it's the exact opposite, right? Like if you bent your knees, you can definitely touch the floor. So that's always an option. Like it's not this competition thing, or, but I think maybe that's like a male mentality, like the competition part of it. Because I've heard my husband say it before, like he hates doing yoga next to me because it makes him upset that I'm so good at it. Or
Right.
he'll say to people, right, Hany?
Well, I'm not upset that you're great at it. I'm upset that I suck at it. It's more of that.
Well, I guess that notion of being good or bad at yoga, I mean, I guess we're human and we always like think that way, but you can't really be bad at yoga.
It's true.
Hany, you're good at yoga. I've seen you.
Thank you.
Okay, so let's ask Brandon some questions because he's kind of at the opposite end of the spectrum. And I can't remember when you started coming, Brandon, but you've been coming every single day, it seems like.
I come quite a bit. It's I'm fortunate because of the location. So I work a couple of blocks away, so I'm able to incorporate it into my workday.
Mm-hmm.
And so that's a huge, I think, benefit because it's like I work a desk job. I'm always sitting. I'm always on calls. So to be able, and you guys have classes throughout the day. So if I can, it's kind of like my lunch break. I can sneak away, go. It's, it works.
And how long have you been coming pretty consistently?
Yeah, I'd say to your studio a couple of years. The first class I ever did was actually in college. I took yoga in college at UCLA, and I remember it because it was the only class I never missed. So it was like I enjoyed going back then, and that was quite a while ago. So, and then of course I didn't do it for a number of years, and then with the pandemic and everything, just looking to be more active and getting older, it's just it fits kind of my schedule and what I'm trying to do.
And
you seem to be one of those people that like cause to come as much as you do, like yoga gets its like hooks in some people. Like it got me when I first started doing it, and I couldn't have stopped if I tried. And you seem to be one of those people. Like, so there's something more than just the convenience of it.
Yeah.
Is there anything you can say about how it makes your body feel, and like maybe just your overall mental state and even like emotional state?
Yeah, both physically and mentally. Like afterwards, just it makes you feel like you've done something for yourself for the day. So you feel like you feel better. And then physically, watching my parents, my mom had arthritis. My dad's turning 80 and has really, really like tight hips. And I just know as you age, everything you read and just common wisdom tells you that mobility is something that you need to keep. Mobility and strength are really important. So just knowing that it's good for you, from a mental standpoint, not only with the physical, that you feel good and you can get a sweat. I like that part. I like the fact that it's like not on you, that you're kind of being told what to do. So it's not like you're going to a gym and it's like you have to come up with your exercise. A lot of times you just close your eyes and listen to the music and just, do as instructed. So that part about it, I really like.
Yeah, that's true. It's nice to be led.
It is nice to be led. Yeah.
I've heard that recently at the studio from somebody else. Like they were like, I just want to come here and not think. Like I just want to be told what to do, and then I'm done, and it's over, and I feel great.
It's actually a big thing for me as well. When I go to a gym or something, I walk in there and I'm like, I have no idea what to do. This is frustrating. I definitely like being in a class that's led a lot more than just doing my own thing, because I'm not a professional by any means, in the gym. So,
but even at the gym, I feel like, because I had a trainer and Hany has a trainer. After a while, I feel like I'm doing the same things over and over again. Like there's not a lot of, they don't mix it up enough. I don't know. With yoga, like it's different every time. At least me and Amanda's classes, we teach a different class every single time. So it doesn't get boring. So I don't know.
Yeah. Change it up.
Yeah.
While being told what to do.
Exactly. All right, Hany.
Yes.
Why don't you tell us why you stopped doing yoga?
Yeah, I haven't seen you.
Have we come to that determination?
He's taking up.
I haven't stopped. I'm just taking a break, I guess. So look, I mean, yoga, I know it's great for me. I know it's healthy. I know it's exactly what I need. But I also know that it's really, really hard for me. And, I've, done the gym workouts, and yoga is by far like the hardest workout that I do personally. And so I know I need it, right? It's really interesting that you guys talk about the gym, and I've tried to kind of think about why I have not been going as much as I should. And I think I just determined that I really like the personal interaction of going to the gym. I'm a social guy. I think, I do use a trainer. So I guess I am guided throughout my training session, but we also talk. We talk for an hour. And one of the things in yoga is I can't talk for an hour and 15 minutes. Right? So that impacts kind of
But you can talk before and after. You can
What's
talk.
that?
You can talk before and after.
That's right. I can talk before and after. So I think that's probably a little part of it. And I've actually done the partner yoga classes that you've had, and I really enjoyed that. But I think as I was thinking about it, it was very interactive, right? Like we were talking the whole time, and you would give out instructions, and we would do it, and we'd laugh, and we'd make fun of each other. And I think that was part of the appeal to those classes. But long story short, it's great for me. I know it is. It's really hard for me. I know I need to go more.
Do you think that it's hard for you because you're going to the hardest teacher in the county?
That is true. The two hardest teachers. Man, I don't think you're.
Well, but if you went to my slow flow class, it's not that it's. Yeah, I just think you might like it more. And then, is your trainer a man or a woman?
A man.
Do you think if there were more men in the room, would that have any bearing on your experience or no?
I don't think so. I don't think so. I mean, there's usually a few when I do go.
That's true.
And I see some that are great and some that are struggling just as much as I am. So I don't think so.
Does it make you feel a little better when, I don't know, other people are around like the same level as you or whatever? Like you're not in a room full of people like flying into handstands?
I think so. But I do fall into my headstand sometimes. So I feel good about that. Yeah. No, but there are certain poses that I'm not, anywhere close to, and there's certain poses that I do. I'm like, all right, you're getting there.
Yeah, because men do tend to be
see the progress just with a little bit of practice. Like I don't go often, but to see the progress just in a few visits is pretty amazing, really.
Yeah, and I think that's good for, like, in general, I feel like men are a little more goal oriented, but everyone likes to feel progression. But you could say men are a little bit more like, this needs to be doing something for me if I'm going to make the time. And there sort of has to be like this marked progression. Do you guys feel like that?
It's interesting you say that. I mean, I'm definitely goal oriented in most aspects of my life. But the funny thing about yoga is when you do hit that goal, or if you do hit that handstand, nobody's actually seeing it, right? It's only you and maybe the teacher, So.
Yeah, and it's kind of an opportunity to let all that go. Because almost everything else in life is like progression based. So it's like a chance to kind of forget about that. But it can be hard.
Yeah. I have a question for Sam. So what would it take for you to like try yoga? Is it like your girlfriend forcing you to go to class, or is it like having a studio 2 steps away, or is it like a challenge where you're, like jumpstart practicing and then kind of stick with it for a while?
Yeah, that's a good question. I'm not opposed to trying a class by any means. I just never have. I'm sure the convenience factor would definitely help if I had a studio as close as Brandon does, where I could just walk over, during lunch and give it a shot. That'd be great. I work from home, and I'm one of those people that when I start working, I lock myself in, and all of a sudden it's 6 p.m. and I have no idea where the day went. So I'm definitely not opposed to doing it by any means, and I know I really, really need to. I'm sure that convenience factor would be a big thing. I mean, if somebody said, "Hey, I'm going to a yoga class, come check it out with me," and I didn't have something else to do, I absolutely would do it. So I don't know. Yeah, maybe the convenience thing. I'm not opposed to it, so it's not like somebody really has to convince me to, do it and say, "Oh, but it's good for you." I know it's good for me. I really should do it. It's just, I guess, a matter of time in the busy schedule to get there and just to actually get out there and do it.
And how old are you, Sam?
I'm 34.
34. Okay.
Yeah.
And how do you think yoga would benefit you, like in your life, especially with like a sedentary lifestyle and at least with work?
Yeah, it would benefit me a lot. So when I got in a motorcycle accident a few years ago, I did physical therapy to learn how to walk again for 2 years, three times a day for 2 years. It was a lot of stretching to get those muscles working again. And even after those 2 years, yes, I noticed a huge difference in how my body felt after being in bed for so long. My back and my hips and everything started to feel a lot better. I didn't see any difference in my flexibility. I still couldn't get much farther than I had before. It was a very minor amount of difference. My body felt much, much better. But I think sometimes seeing the progress, would really motivates you. And I didn't see any progress. I felt it, but I didn't see any progress. So I'm like, wow, I've been doing physical therapy, 3 times a day for 2 years, and I still can't get anywhere near my toes. I guess that kind of turns you off a little bit right there. But again, I noticed how it felt. I felt so much better after being in bed so long. There was not a point in the day where my back or hips didn't hurt, or my body didn't feel terrible. But then when I started doing that all went away. But again, I didn't see an increase in my flexibility. So I think that was just a little bit of a turnoff right there.
Yeah.
Okay.
I think whenever I have students have to do physical therapy for something else, they always say how easy it is compared to yoga. Physical therapy works so well, and it's very, very awesome, but it's all these subtle, repetitive movements sort of designed towards something very, very specific, where yoga is like, it's addressing your entire body. But you would feel like Hany said, you'd go 2 or 3 times and you'd feel a lot of progression. I mean, you wouldn't, it
Right.
could take months to really get deep into a forward fold, but it does make a much bigger impact, I think, overall on your body and your flexibility and your strength than physical therapy does. But it's like, thank God for physical therapy, because that's what brought you back from that accident.
Yeah.
Right.
And I noticed it with Brandon. I mean, your flexibility has increased so much, and you lost weight. I feel like you look very lean, and like your upper body strength is crazy now. Like he's doing forearm stand, handstand, all that stuff that he could never do before.
No.
You know?
Yeah. I felt. I mean, just over the last couple of years, I felt not as much back pain, way more mobile. Stronger and healthier overall, and it's because of the consistency. I feel like.
Yeah, I mean, you hardly ever miss a day. It's awesome.
Mm-hmm.
What would you say? Go ahead.
I was just going to say, with those more advanced type poses, did they just kind of happen naturally from going all the time, or were you like, I would like to be able to, do a handstand or do a forearm stand, or just kind of organically, like.
Yeah. And it's kind of like we were talking about earlier. Like it's not like goal driven. It's kind of just going and experiencing it and feeling better afterwards, and not knowing. So when I first started, I honestly liked it because of the ending part, the rest. And then as you go more and more, you get better at it. So.
Yeah. And what would you say to other guys out there who have never done it, or maybe like hesitant to try it? Like, what would you tell them to encourage them to go?
Just that the benefits that you derive from it, I think it's just really really healthy and good for you, especially as you get a little bit older. And it's interesting to watch it now too, kind of how it's evolved into, like, now athletes, it's really a part of their training. Like if you look at NBA players or baseball players or football players, like a lot of them do have yoga especially with basketball. I know that a lot of them practice yoga to help with their training.
Yeah, it's true.
And speaking of training, Hany is an avid pickleball player. He's training all the time now, and I'm really worried about him because he's not strong. And he just turned 51.
Ooh, outing you.
Totally.
So things like pickleball, it's one-sided. I mean, you are using both sides of your body, but like you've got a forehand and a backhand, and you've got a strong side and a weaker side. And when you do something that's asymmetrical, you really need a symmetrical mobility, cross-training, Hany. So
You guys are absolutely right about that, because I have had minor injuries in pickleball, and they're always right side, right? It's always my right arm, my right shoulder, my right elbow. So you're absolutely right about that.
Yeah, I mean, the more you can do this kind of, it's so much more than just stretching, right? It's like breathing into your body. It's creating symmetry between both sides. Whatever's weak gets strong, whatever's tight gets more mobile. So it's like when I stopped doing yoga, and, sometimes we'll go out of town over the summer for like 2 weeks. And of course, like I just get so lazy and I don't stretch and I don't do yoga, and I'll do it very sporadically. And right away, I start getting sciatica pain. So it's like a shooting pain down my leg. And I'm just walking. I'll just be walking and it's a shooting pain. And it's because of not stretching my hips and low back and my hamstrings. So everything gets compressed. And I feel like shit. I feel like 90 years old. And my body just turns into like a rock, right? So I know that I can't not do yoga. At least, I don't know. Because I know what it feels like when I do yoga, regularly and consistently. So,
well, as
Carolina
Carolina knows, I am not a very good breather either, right? So Carolina has been teaching me the importance of breathing. And I do notice that's a huge impact when I'm in class, right? Just breathing through my nose is not natural. Feeling it, in your throat, as you guys like to say, was never really a sensation that I had. So that's actually a really big part of it, right? Because I think that affects your sleep, your energy levels, your state of mind, your mentality. So I think it's also a huge benefit that I've seen.
And have you learned more how to breathe from yoga and from Carolina?
I have. This is probably TMI, but I'm a big snorer at night, and so now I wear this tape on my mouth. Right?
Yeah.
And I'm learning how to breathe through my nose when I sleep. And knock on wood, I haven't been snoring the last couple of weeks, which is great.
That's amazing.
So that's
I know.
a huge impact of breathing through your nose and learning.
Yeah.
Naturally, right?
Oh, your dog is crazy. A lot of that breathing stuff came from that book. That's one of my gave it to me, and it's called Breath by James Nestor. And you read the whole book, right, Amanda? The Breath book by James. It's amazing, and it has all the why and how and the research and this doctor and that doctor, all these civilizations that all practiced breathing through the nose and how bad it is to breathe through your mouth. And that book I knew a lot about breath being a yoga teacher, but just reading that book has forced me to look at everybody around me and be like, close your mouth, breathe through your nose, don't breathe through your mouth. I don't know. It's huge.
Yeah, I think it's a bigger piece even than, it's wonderful to be flexible, strong, and mobile, but the power of learning really how to breathe and breathing through your nose, I think is the greatest benefit of all of yoga.
Yeah.
And learning how to turn inward and not, necessarily have to be social for an hour. It's you're sort of forced to hang out with yourself. You can't watch TV while you're doing yoga. You can't listen. Well, you can listen to music that's being played, but you really have to hang out with yourself for that hour.
Mm-hmm. All right. I don't know if I have any more questions. Do you, Amanda?
No, I think thank you, Brandon, for being that example of a guy who comes to yoga all the time. And
thank you guys.
Yeah. Hany and Sam, has he inspired you to maybe pick up some yoga in your life?
Yeah. Yes, absolutely. I really need to. So
we'll get you
I'll be back.
Tuesday mornings, 8:30, Hany.
I think you would enjoy the slow flow. You have to find what's good for you. And especially in the beginning, when you're just getting started, starting slower and more gentle is always better. You'll just have a better foundation, right? To be able to go in and do the more active classes that make you sweat and get a workout. So, all right, guys. Well, thank you so much for joining us.
Yes, thanks for giving us the time and the male perspective.
Yeah, no problem. Thanks for having us.
Thank you.
Have an awesome day, everybody.
Bye.
Take care. Bye-bye.
All right. That was very enlightening, don't you think?
Definitely. It's nice to get the 3 different perspectives. I think we talked Sam into doing yoga.
I do too. I hope he comes.
Me too.
So our next podcast episode is going to be an introduction to our workout FlowLIFT, why we created it, what it is, why do we love it, all that stuff.
The whole evolution of creating a workout, which has been an amazing experience. So that will be next month. Stay tuned. You can find our podcast on YouTube under Büddhi Babble and on Spotify under Büddhi Babble as well. And if you want to take online classes with us, you go to yourbuddhi.com for the yoga and flowliftfitness.com to try our workout. And if you live in La Jolla or San Diego, come see us at Büddhi Yoga on Girard Avenue. Thanks, everybody.
Thanks. Bye.